Hello, welcome to another video. This one is in relation to the BattleGround show that was Saturday that me and Alex went to. We put a demonstration game on, a small Falkands scenario, mainly to try the playtest version of a new rule system called Sangin. I've already mentioned it on a couple of the previous videos. This is sort of a second edition of Skirmish Sangin, which has been around since about 2014. Regulars will know we really like the rules, don't we, Alex? They were designed initially for Afghanistan, and what the second edition, which is just called Sangin, has basically turned out to be. It's effectively a modern skirmish system. Arguably, it would probably do World War II as well. It's very low level, yet activating individual figures, so more than probably a section aside, it would still work, but obviously the more figures you have, it just gets slower, because you've got certain things to do with when you're activated. Very briefly, the rules system, it's based on quality of troops, and at the start of each scenario you roll a d10 and add a modifier for your quality. This gives you an initiative number, and basically your initiative number, which can run probably between 2 and 15, it lets you know where you activate in the turn. Now the turn's composed of 10 phases, which initially you might think, oh god, 10 phases for one turn, but each figure basically activates 4 times within that sequence, and obviously characters with a higher initiative are going to activate before characters with a lower one. In some circumstances, you might even get a very high initiative character activating twice before your lower ranking characters activate. It follows basically quite a similar sequence. Anyone who's played Skirmish Sangin will recognise it. What we did want to mention, that he's got Colin and Nathan have developed a really nice fixture in it, which they've called tempo, which I suppose is, symbolises your speed, aggression, violence of action, initiative, season the initiative. Basically this is a score running from, well, it can be 0, but it goes up to a maximum of 6. And this is what you use to do everything in the game, so to move, to fire. When bad things happen to you, you can also lose tempo, so when you activate it next, you might not have any tempo to do anything, so it's basically covers suppression as well. So we've videoed the game, which is based around a very small engagement during the battle for Mount Longdon. Basically a mishmash of 4 and 5 platoon from 3 para had the objective of taking out an Argentinian 50 caliber heavy machine gun. The Argentine position had 4 men in it, and it was basically attacked by 7 paras. 5 of them sort of effectively did like a base of fire, and 2 of them skirmished forward to assault the position. So that's what the scenario was. Don't really want to go into much more. We had a couple of little hiccups with the camera, so we're going to edit and play what we've got, so you can see it. I think we've got probably certainly a couple of full turns covered, didn't we, really? And then we'll come back at the end after you've seen it, and we'll see what we thought. Okay, you up for that, Alex?
Yeah, sounds good.
Right, okay. Right, so we've got some images from the show here before we start off with the videos. This was Pete Horton's display in relation to 2 para snipers. It's quite a substantial display, really. He's done a really good job on it, and if you can catch him at any of the shows, definitely worth having a look at. So I'll shut up now, and I'll just let the stuff play. If there's anything that I think's noteworthy, I'll jump in and just explain what we've got. So these are some images of specifically the two para of the snipers, the battalion snipers. All this has been collected by Pete, and he's done, as I said, he's done a really, really good job. So moving around, there's some papers and magazines from the period. Everything's obviously authentic. There's Klansman radio there. Weapon. The weapons he's got are actually airsoft, and I had a look at them. I've never sort of seen airsoft weapons before, and I was very impressed. They're extremely accurate, and obviously cost a lot less than deactivated weapons. So I had a set of weapon filled correctly, which was obviously the correct weight. You can see he's got an airsoft L42 sniper rifle there, the guy with the ghillie suit on, and there was basically letting folks try it on so they can see the weight, which is obviously always good. So this is a still image from showing the whole display, and as you can see, it's quite substantial. And Pete really knows his stuff about both the conflict and obviously the kit and the equipment. Right, we've got a couple of photos of Alex here wearing the equipment. He was one of many people who tried it on, and it's that's the benefit of living history things. You get to actually see what the stuff's like, and Pete organised this really well. Right, so on with the with our stuff. This is an overall view of the table. You can see how close the living history display was. Very small table, quite a small scenario really, but it worked. Seemed to work okay. Right, and we've got some stills from the games before the video starts here. This is part of the British support group prior to the two-man assault group going in, which is what you've got here. This is at the beginning of a rock run with them skirmishing up the side. And this is a shot of the Argentine 50 caliber position. So what we'll do now is we'll go to the video. As I say, I'll apologise for the quality of it, but I'm sure you'll be able to pick up what's going on. Right, Alex, so this is turn 1, phase 1. Yeah. So what happens here is we activate anyone on your character card who's got an activation phase of 1. So I've got on here Fernandez, who's the 50 caliber gunner. Yep. Have you got any? Yep, I've got Corporal Heaton. Yeah, and anyone else? And Private Bodell. And Peter Private Gray. And he's the guy at the front. Yeah. Right. So what we'll do now is it goes in numerical sequence. So he's on a 13, he's on a 14, he's on a 13, yeah. He's on a 14. Yeah. So Corporal Heaton, if you wanted to, could activate first. So yeah. He's got 6 points of tempo. Yeah. and corporal heating's this guy here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got 6 points of tempo. So at the moment it's night time, they're all unspotted.
Yeah.
So what you can do is attempt to spot. Okay, so you're going to use D100s. So you're going to try and spot the 50 caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're looking at is on corporal heating the spot. So you look at that figure, so it's 100%.
Yeah.
However, there's some factors that will add to that. Oh, there we are. Right, that's on the bottom there. Let's see if we're looking. Right, so that's here. So target factors. So it's this spotting column here.
Yeah.
Target moving, no. Target's gone firm. So they've gone firm at the moment. Their class has gone firm. They're making the best use. So that's minus 20. So that puts you on to 80.
Yeah.
Targets in cover.
Yeah.
That puts them down to 50.
Yeah.
It's night. That puts them down to 0. Now then, because they've been firing, the Argentinians had started firing.
Yeah.
So that puts them up to 40.
Yeah.
So what you've got, you're on a 40% chance to spot them.
Yeah.
What you can do, you can add some of your, up to 2 points of your tempo to reduce that. So per AP added, you're going to add 20%. So you're currently on 40.
Yeah.
So if you added 2, that would put you at 80% chance to hit.
Yeah.
So you do
to
that
spot.
to spot.
Yeah.
So that would go
to
4.
Yeah.
No, it would go to 3. Because you
6, 5.
Yeah. So there's the 2 points on your temp, and then there's the actual 1 point. So you need to get 80 or below on those.
Oh, 86.
No, so you failed. Right. You couldn't write that. Right. So what your options are doing now, you can attempt to spot the same guy again.
Yeah.
And it might be worth you keeping
the
points
3
to
points.
interrupt.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to do
so
that.
That's you done.
Yeah.
Right. So for 13, I've got the gunner on 13.
Yeah. I've got.
He's on. Oh, you've got Private Grey. He's on 14.
He's on 14.
So that's the guy at the front.
Yeah.
So movement-wise, you can move 6 inches. That's 1 point of tempo.
Yeah.
You're obviously still in cover here, so you might be worth moving to the.
I'm going to move up.
Right. So you could use 2 points and get him up to this corner here, but he's obviously still in cover.
That's basically to the end there. He's up there.
Right. So with Grey, you need to move 2. He needs to go down 2 tempo.
Yeah. So again, that's 5, 4.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's him done there. Right. So he's on. So now go to the 13s. You've got a 13. I've got a 13.
Yeah.
So we've got to roll off.
Yeah.
So I've rolled 43.
Yeah.
75. So you're activating first.
Yeah.
So Bowles this guy on the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the same thing. Do you want to try and use the 2 to spot?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
So for him, he's on 105.
Yeah.
So that's going to add 5. So for your 2, that would be 85% chance to spot.
84%. Lucky there.
Right.
Bloody hell.
So you've managed to spot him.
Yeah.
So he immediately needs to go down to 3.
Yeah.
So what you can do now, at the end of that activation, for Heaton, he should have got 3. This guy here. So at the end of the activation, you get 3. I'll just check that, Alex. At the end of the activation, I think you get 3 points of tempo. Just bear with us a second. So you need, have you taken his 3 off? Right. So he hasn't finished yet. Right. Yeah. So he gained 3. So he's back up to 6.
Yeah.
He's up to 6.
Yeah.
Right. So you've still got 3 tempo there. So for you, if you want, so you've spotted him.
Yeah.
So you can engage him. So it would cost 2 points of tempo to fire.
Yeah.
Okay. You can, if you wanted to, add an additional 1 to increase your chance to hit, and that would put you on 0, but you get +3 at the end of the activation.
Yeah.
So you're going to do that?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Right,
Yeah.
so this guy here is shooting at him.
Yeah.
Okay? Right. So it's battle, so you need his rifle skill,
which is 94.
Right. So firing. The target isn't moving. The target's gone firm, so that's minus 20. That puts you on 74.
Mm-hmm.
The target's in cover, puts you on 44. It's night, which puts you on minus 6. And then you're adding 20%, which puts you on 16 or below to hit. But there is a penalty, so if you roll that, so you need 16 or less. You've done it?
I've done it.
8%, right. Right, so what happens when you hit? We'll go through that. If the attack hits, which it is, the target loses all accumulated tempo and is suppressed.
Yeah.
So he's Fernandez, so he loses all his tempo and he's suppressed. We'll put a little suppression marker on it.
Yeah.
And he's down to 0.
Yeah.
And then he's up to 3.
Up to 3.
So he's on 3.
Yeah.
Right, now because he's been hit, the attacker rolls firepower dice. Right, so your firepower dice is, you want 2d10s.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll just get this worked out. Hang on.
Yeah.
For each dice that exceeds the attacked character's armor, they gain 1 rule level. Right. Right, so I'll go back to this, as this is slightly different than the thing. Right. If the attack hits, the target risks being injured. The target loses all accumulated tempo and is suppressed, which is what he is. The attacker rolls firepower dice. For each dice that exceeds the attacking character's armor rating, they gain 1 wound level. Right. So it's with that thing there, that's classed as a 3.
Yeah.
So you need to roll
a 3 or more.
No, 4 or more.
A 4 or more. 5 and a 6.
Levels. Right, so he's got a serious wound. Right, so tell you what we'll do. We'll do that is he's suppressed.
Yeah.
And the serious wounds, 2 of them.
Yeah.
This is going to be a short game. Right, so that's good. So that's finished. So that's all in phase 1. There's no one in a 12, is there?
No.
No. Right. So we're now going to phase 2. Right. So with wounded,
because your 13 was the one that's just been. That's your 13, which is the one that's just been suppressed.
So seriously wounded characters are at minus 40% to all skills, minus 4 inch to movement, and can bank 2 tempo points maximum. The character will only generate 2 AP at the start of the activation. Right. So when he's activated again, he's only got 2. So he's wounded on the gun. The gun stopped firing. Right, Alex. So turn 1, phase 4.
Yeah.
So the first character you activate, who are you going to activate?
I'm going to activate Private Goff, which is...
Private Goff, but that's that guy there.
Then.
So what's he going to do?
He's going to attempt to spot this guy first.
Right, well, bear in mind, this guy's fired.
Oh, right, he's going to attempt to spot him then, sorry.
Right, okay. So we'll look at the factors for spotting. So that he's going to fire at him, right.
Yeah.
So target's gone firm, which is 20, so it's 50. Night gets it down to 100. That gets it to 60. So your base chance to spot 60%. Are you going to add any?
Yes, he's going to add 2.
Right. So if you add 2, basically it's 100%. But you've got to be if you roll 100, that's classed as a fumble.
Yeah.
So don't roll 100.
45%.
So you spotted him.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to fire as well,
I'm going to fire as well.
Right. So what's...
So firing is at 90.
Right, so you're going to lose 2 to fire.
Yeah.
So that puts him on...
2.
Well, he should have been on 3 because he used 2.
3, yeah.
So 2, so he's got 1 left.
Yeah.
So if you put him on 1, we know where we are.
Yeah.
Right. So firing wise, you're going to be looking at... the target movement towards confirmed, 20, 50. That's 100. So you'd be on 20%. What's your firing?
90%.
So you're on minus 10. So if you use your last point, that would put you on 10% chance to hit. But you still obviously lose tempo.
Yeah. Is it worth it, do you think?
So do you?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Right. So if you roll 10 or below, you've hit him.
No.
No, 94. However, you're going to roll 2 d10s, and you're looking at 3 or more.
1.
So he's lost 1 tempo. So that you're shooting at this guy here, aren't you? So that's Scaglione. So his tempo is now down to 1. Right. So he's on 3 because he's finished, and he's activated.
Yeah.
Right. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go on to Masterman, the guy with ammunition.
Yeah.
That guy there. So he's shooting at the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to shoot.
So I think he's already spotted them, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Yeah. So he's already spotted them.
Yeah.
They haven't moved, so you're just going to be firing.
Yeah.
So what's his rifle?
90%.
So you're looking at... so again, you're on minus 10. Initially, you're on minus 10.
Yeah.
So any you add, so it's 2 to fire.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, you could add another 4, which would give you a 90% chance to hit.
Might as well. Yeah.
Right. So he's on nothing.
He's on nothing.
So if you put him on 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're shooting, you want to roll 90 or below.
63.
60. So you've hit him. Right. So so he's seriously wounded as well because he's not got it. No, he's got 4. Sorry, that's me. So you need to roll 5 or more.
Yeah.
That's for the cover.
1.
So you've got 1 hit. So he's been hit, so he would lose all his tempo.
Yeah.
And he's been hit with 1.
Yeah.
And what basically that means, to give you some background, so that's a light wound, so you're minus 20% of all skills, minus 2 and you can only have 4 tempo maximum in the bank.
Yeah.
But he hasn't got any at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay? So he's on 3, so he's activated. So
he's
move
done.
him onto
Yeah.
there. And then your last guy's Corporal Carver with the GPMG.
Yeah.
Right.
He's going to fire as well.
Caliber.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he hasn't spotted him yet, has he?
No.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to attempt a spot.
Right. So
so it's 1 to
he's
spot.
been firing. Hang on. We'll do so. You're looking at 20, 50. You're not 100 or 40 spotting. So 100, so you're starting on 10. So to fire with the GPMG, hang on,
I have to spot him first.
Yeah. You're looking at 2. So what you could do is you're on 10 to spot him. So you can add. So you've used 1. You could add another couple.
Yeah. Yeah. That means we're down to 3.
So that's 40. So that's a 50% chance to spot him.
Yeah. I'm going to do that.
Hang on, 50. No, he's fired the thing as well. So that's a 90% chance to spot him.
Right.
Because he's fired. I forgot he's fired. So 90%.
90% chance. 68%.
Spotted him.
I've spotted him.
So you've got 3 left. You can take 2 to fire.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, you can add 1 on, which would get you down to 0.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you're going to do that. So he's on 3. So that's right. And he's activated.
Yeah.
So firing 10, and you've used, so you're on 30% chance to hit him.
Right. 78%.
No, so you've missed. So it's the tempo thing again.
Yeah.
So you need to roll those. You want to roll 3s or more.
1.
So that's another one off his tempo. So it's just separately. So he hasn't got any anyway.
Right.
So that doesn't matter. So it's but he's suppressed, isn't he? Right. So when a character has no tempo and must lose tempo, they become suppressed instead. So he's suppressed as well.
Yeah.
Right. And that's that done, isn't it?
That's that, yeah.
We're now activating anyone with initiative 3 or below. There's only one figure, which is this guy here in cosplay, which is the kneeling book. Yeah, so what he's going to try and do, initially he's going to try and spot the guy firing the GPMG. Okay, so that'll put him down to 2. So to spot him, the target hasn't been moving and he's gone to ground, so that's 20. It's night, which puts it at 70. The spotter's elevated, which puts it at 50. So there's, I'm knocking 50% off whatever his spotting skill is. So his spotting skill is 69, so you spot him on a 19.
Yeah.
No, he won't. You'll spot him on 59 because he's fired, didn't he?
Yeah.
So you'll spot him on 59. So he hasn't spotted him. Right.
Yeah, 45%. He said.
Oh, 59 he has, sorry.
59%?
Yeah. I was thinking of 19. Right, so he has spotted him.
Yeah.
Right. And he's gonna fire at him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which will put him down to 0.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the activation, you go back up to 3.
Yeah.
And he's activated. Right. So firing wise, his rifle skills 47. Yeah. Right. So anyway, confirm 20. Night 70. Spotters elevated 50. Right, so he's going to lose 50% of his rifle skill, which is 47, so he's -3. So he can't do it, can't hit him, but he has fired. So what I've got to do is roll 2 dice. Corporal Carver's, I've got to roll 5s or more for him to lose tempo.
Yeah.
So he loses 1 tempo, so he goes down to 2. That's that finished. On to phase 5. Right, right, Alex. So this is phase 5.
Yeah.
We're looking at people with high initiative scores. So the first guy we've got is Corporal Heaton, which is this guy here. So what's he going to do?
He's going to attempt to spot the guy over there.
Oh, so this guy over here, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So spotting wise, we are targets confirmed 20, so you're looking at 100%. So his Corporal Heaton is 100, so you're on 0.
Right.
So you could order.
So I'm going to do 2.
So that would take you down to 0. You don't have enough to fire.
But I'll have enough to fire.
You won't, because it's 2 to fire.
Ah, right, okay. So I'll do 2 then. I'll do 2. Which makes sense, then I can fire next turn if I be able to.
So he's back on 3, so you've used all your things. So you're looking at 40% to spot. So is he's fired, hasn't he? Yes.
He's fired on under
so
there.
So it's 80% to spot. Right, so you've spotted
73.
him. So you've spotted him. Right. So that's him activated. Right. So going to the next 14 is this guy at the front.
Yeah. So he's already. Has he already spotted them?
Yes, he's spotted him already.
So he's going to fire. He's going to fire on this guy here.
Right. Okay. So what's his rifle? Is 85. 65.
35. It's minus 15. 2. Right, so you're on minus 15. So if you add 1, that's going to put you on positive 5.
Right, so I'm going to do, because I've got 2 left, because it's 2 to hit, so I'm going to do my 2. Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's back to 3 now for the next one.
Right, so that's 25.
Yeah.
25 or below to hit.
No.
66, you haven't. So you need to roll those 2. And
For the...
so above these, so you need to roll 3 or more.
Yes.
So that's 2 tempo off him. You're shooting this guy here,
Yeah.
aren't you? So he's down to 1. Right.
So that's
Right.
that one done.
Right.
Then
So that was 14.
13.
13.
Peter Powell.
Powell, so that's that guy here.
Yeah.
And he's already spotted them.
Yeah. So he's going to fire.
Right, so if he's on 2, that'll be them.
That'll
done.
be the normal
So
thing.
you put it back to 3.
So put it back to 3.
And shove him on there. So you can't add anything on with that, can you?
No.
So it's
Straight roll.
so it's 100. So 60 off his rifle score. What is he? He's
94.
So 34 or more.
Or less.
Yeah.
Or less.
Yes, or less. Sorry.
60.
No. Right. So roll those again. Need anything over a 3?
Yep.
So another 2. And
So
you're
that's
shooting at the loader guy.
The
Yeah.
loader guy.
Right.
And the
Right,
next
so
guy
that
that
was-
I've got is this
Right.
one.
So hang on. He's on a 5. So he's the only one you've got left, isn't he?
Yes.
Right. So looking at mine, I'm on a 4 and he's on a 7. So it's this guy activated next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to activate first. He's on an initiative of 7,
Yeah.
and that's this guy here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's only got 1 tempo. I think he's probably going to have to withdraw. Alex is going to get clobbered next time. So he's going to do a little withdrawal move to here. And that's him doing. The loader's only on 1 tempo, so he can't even fire the gun. So he can't do anything really either.
Well, I'm on 5. The last guy.
Right.
Which is
That's that guy here with ammunition.
that guy there.
Yeah.
He's got 3 tempo, 2 to fire.
Is he going to add 1?
He's going to add 1.
So he's on 3.
He's back to 3.
And
For
who's
the
he
next.
shooting at?
Yeah.
This group here. Right.
Yeah, loader. He's on the machine gun now.
So, and how many did he add? You got rid of 3, didn't you? You were on 3.
So he's got what? He's
1.
added
So you're
1.
adding 20%.
Added 1.
So that puts you on 100. So you're on 9% to hit.
Yeah.
He's fired, so you're on 49.
Yeah.
60, you've missed. But you still cause tempo, so you want the
Yeah.
2d10s. And you need to roll 3 or more.
1.
So 1, so that's another tempo off him. So he's on 0. Because he's on 0, he now becomes suppressed. So he's suppressed as well. Right. Great. Right. So that's that finished, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So that's that done. Good.
Right, so that was the video of the playtest. Personally speaking, I think it went really well. The tempo rules are definitely a good addition, and that bit worked really well. Do you agree with that, Alex?
I would 100% agree with it. It was
Right.
system.
Yeah. So as we mentioned before, it's only for small scale stuff. So we had, obviously, there was 4 Argentinian characters and there was 7 British characters. It worked really well for that. Obviously, you could do platoon actions. The fly in the ointment would work fine, but it'll take a long time to go through a turn because you're activating individual figures.
But at
the level that it's at, it works. It works really well. Interestingly, the scenario sort of followed what happened during the actual engagement quite closely, which is obviously always a good sign. To briefly describe what happened, you were quite lucky early on, weren't you? In the first sort of engagement, you managed to wound the gunner. Ended up where the loader, my loader, swapped over with it, but then he was sort of lost tempo, being suppressed. It's one of those systems where if a side maintains the momentum, keeps the pressure on the enemy, basically it works what happens in actuality, and you win the firefight, and you sort of gain the upper hand, which is what happened really, isn't it? Yeah. So it worked really well. Sort of apologise in retrospect, I think that the clips that we've got, we didn't get them in fully, primarily because we had a lot of interest at the show, people interested in the rules system and obviously also in the scenario. We had people, there was Pete Horton who put a really nice demonstration on behind, a living history demonstration based around 2 para snipers, had loads of kit out, weapons, so that generated a lot of interest, and then obviously what we were doing right next to him, it worked quite well, didn't it? Yeah. So that worked really well. So what was your overall impression of the sort of the system? Were you happy with it, Alex? Or?
Yeah, the system works really well. We kind of go backwards and forwards to different ones, but I think Sangin is going to be the ones where we're going to keep on going.
Certainly at that level. At that level, it works really well. So we'll be looking at things like stuff for AAR in Northern Ireland and stuff like that. It'll work really well for that.
For that type of engagement.
Yeah, that sort of size, it works well. And your views of the show of BattleGround?
Yes, BattleGround was really well. They were saying that there was a highest turnout of people so far. They've been going for 10 years. Yeah. So that was obviously nice to see that it's getting its well-deserved name, and it was good. Getting stronger and stronger, I think. Yeah. The next, hopefully, 10 years.
It was the anniversary, wasn't it? Yeah.
Bigger and better. What about you? How was yours?
No, I thought it was really well organised. Leon from Pendragon did a cracking job. Everything organised. Yeah. Got wristbands. We got a couple of free coffee vouchers.
Which is always good.
Yeah. No, it went really well, and I'm sure the show will go from strength to strength. So as normal, if you've got any questions, shout up. We'll put a link in the description to the Skirmish Sangin page. Basically, if you go on there, if you're interested in playtesting the rules, I'm sure Colin and Nathan will be able to sort you out, and you can get a copy of. I mean, it is obviously in the playtest stage, but there's enough certainly for the type of engagement that we did, purely infantry. There's enough information there just for you to see how it pans out. And that's basically it. Next up, I'm hopefully gonna be finishing the my Marines for Hue. We'll have a slight delay in some of the videos. Me and my wife are away for a week in the sun. Tomorrow we're travelling down to Manchester to fly out to get a bit of sun. So I'm going to catch up on all my Vietnam and Arnhem reading. So I think the way it'll pan out, we'll certainly get the figures done, and then I want to get the buildings done. That'll be that sort of finalised, and then we're looking at doing the Arnhem Heroes Kickstarter, starting that in the new year. So that's about it, Alex. There's not really much else to add, is there?
No, yeah, sounds good. So what I'm doing is, as well, at my little workbench, I'm doing I've built my Rubicon heli for Vietnam. I'm trying to get it from a certain film that I've watched, and I think it'll look quite good. So that's all primed and is waiting for some paint.
Cool.
Which I think will look good when it's done.
Excellent. Right, so that's it, folks. Thanks again very much for watching. It's really appreciated. Any questions, just drop them in and we'll do our best to answer them. And we'll see you soon.
See you next time.